Mohan Yadav has been named as the new CM of Madhya Pradesh. The suspense there is out. Mohan Yadav, who was the first-time MLA from Ujjain, had in fact in 2013 has in fact now been named as the CM. Remember, Mohan Yadav is in fact the higher education minister in Madhya Pradesh. He's now been named as CM. He's a three-time MLA from Ujjain, and he's been named. We'll get more details on this decision and how that would affect the BJP face in Madhya Pradesh. But of course, this is, as expected, a new face and an unexpected face in Madhya Pradesh. Of course, we were earlier thinking that the choice would be between Shivraj or Prahlad Patel, but the BJP again has surprised people with their choice for the Madhya Pradesh CM with Mohan Yadav. He was the higher education minister, three-time MLA from Ujjain, and he had in fact been chosen as the cabinet minister in the Shivraj cabinet earlier. He's now been named as the CM for Madhya Pradesh, is what we're learning. We're yet to see reactions coming in on this particular choice, but of course, interesting choice after Chhattisgarh is what we're seeing. In Chhattisgarh, of course, the BJP has gone with a tribal leader, but when it comes to Madhya Pradesh, the BJP again has chosen a new face, a fresh face, which we'd seen that a lot of people on ground were expecting and were asking for. In fact, they wanted a new face to be the chief minister in Madhya Pradesh. Now, of course, we're yet to see the kind of a reception that this name will get in Madhya Pradesh when it comes to the latest CM. But of course, this is what we're learning, that he was a three-time MLA from Ujjain, and that he's been named as the chief minister for Madhya Pradesh. A big elevation for Mohan Yadav there. He's a former minister of education, of higher education in Madhya Pradesh there. This is of course the latest information that we're getting.
Right, Aarti. So as you were saying, the BJP has swung a surprise yet again, and very interestingly, Mohan Yadav is seen as somebody who's close to the RSS as well. A complete unexpected choice. We were discussing, Aarti, earlier as to who are the CM probables, and Mohan Yadav's name was not there in the list at all. You had leaders like, of course, Shivraj Singh Chauhan, and other than him, you had Prahlad Patel, also Jyotiraditya Scindia, Kailash Vijayvargiya, who were being seen as front runners. But Mohan Yadav, as you said, a three-time MLA, somebody who's close to the RSS, is also very interestingly, also ties into the BJP's OBC push, given the fact that, you have the Prime Minister coming out with schemes like the Vishwakarma Yojana and a clear OBC outreach, and that is one community, Aarti, that has stood by the BJP in these state elections. The OBCs have really powered the BJP's victory, not just in Madhya Pradesh but also in Chhattisgarh and Rajasthan. And since morning we were discussing this aspect of the BJP sort of ushering in a generational change. Now that is interesting as well, because when we talk about the BJP, it not just looks at the next 5 years but the next 10 years when it chooses its chief ministers. And there was this whole aspect of ushering in a generational change when it comes to the BJP. Anurag Dwari, I'm being told, is joining us now on the phone line. Anurag sir, so as we were discussing, a complete surprise there. Mohan Yadav, tell us more about him, and an OBC MLA, and also somebody who's seen it close to the RSS.
Yes, Mohan Yadav is very close to RSS, and he was the higher education minister in the erstwhile Shivraj Singh Chauhan government. And it's a very he's an MLA from Ujjain South, and this name is really we don't know the reason why Mohan Yadav was chosen over so many heavyweight politicians who fought the elections, and now they are MLA in Madhya Pradesh. So this will be really interesting to know. But so far we can tell our viewers that Mohan Yadav will be the next Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh.
Also, Narek, just take us to what transpired in that CLP meeting. Was there consensus from the word go, or what actually happened in that CLP meeting? Because this is a real surprise.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. It will be really interesting to know. We will talk to our sources and let our viewers know that what really transpired in the meeting, who proposed his name, who seconded his name. But clearly, it's a surprising name. But I know for sure that he's very close to RSS and the Sangh Parivar, and that can be one of the reasons. But otherwise, he was not even in the probables for the post of chief ministership here in Madhya Pradesh.
Right, Anurag, now if we're talking about the reception of this new CM, we're seeing that a lot of people on ground were excited for a new face there, and we'd seen in the elections as well, the BJP put up a united front. So the Mohan Yadav era, what can we expect from that?
As I said, I mean, we have so many heavyweight leaders here in Madhya Pradesh like Narendra Singh Tomar or, Prahlad Patel, who is also a strong OBC leader. He comes from the, Lodhi community. Jyotiraditya Scindia, though, his name was there in the probables list. And apart from, state BJP president like V.D. Sharma or Kailash Vijayvargiya. So it will be really interesting to see how will he run the cabinet with so many heavyweight leaders in Madhya Pradesh.
Right, Anurag, also talking about the deputy CMs, now a completely unexpected face for the chief minister, someone who's not even in one of the front runners. What can we expect when it comes to deputy CMs now?
So far, our sources have said that either can be Riti Pathak or Archana Chitnis. One of the deputy CMs, but after this name, I'll really reserve those words and those news. That part of the story. So it will be really interesting to see if whom they will choose for the post of deputy CM here in Madhya Pradesh.
Absolutely, Anurag. When it comes to the new BJP, nothing really is predictable. But as you said, many heavyweights, whether it's Narendra Singh Tomar, MPs were fielded, union ministers were fielded, as far as Madhya Pradesh is concerned. That is going to be a big task for the BJP to accommodate all of them as far as the cabinet is concerned. That is going to be a big task, and also the Shivraj factor, because the Ladli Behna Yojana, of course, was one thing that really sort of helped the BJP sweep the polls. So how is the Shivraj factor going to be accommodated? That is also going to be a key challenge for the BJP.
Mohan Yadav is also close to Shivraj Singh Chauhan, so that can be a possibility that he can be one of those consensus candidates as we're talking about, because the media hides the name of because of the Lodhi factor and OBC factor, the name of former cabinet minister Prahlad Patel, and there were reasons also because the Lodhi caste is crucial to BJP's prospects in 2024 Lok Sabha polls, not just in MP but also in the politically most crucial adjoining UP. Has around 29 seats in the state's house, a significant population of Lodhi caste, the caste to which two former chief ministers, Satyan Singh and Uma Bharti, belong to. Uma Bharti was the chief minister in 2003 in Pradesh.
Okay, we seem to have lost that line with Anurag. We'll try and reconnect with him. But the BJP has swung a surprise. Mohan Yadav will be the next Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh. Amitabh Tiwari, political strategist, is also joining us live on the broadcast. Amitabh Tiwari, we were just discussing yesterday when the Chhattisgarh CM was announced that nothing is predictable when it comes to the new BJP. But how do you see this decision? A complete underdog, but certainly a consensus candidate like Vishnu Dev Sai, because he's also seen close to Shivraj Singh Chauhan, Mohan Yadav, and an OBC face. How do you see this, this decision? Your first reaction?
It's a very surprising name. Obviously, it was not in the list of the probables. It seems to be the Devagada moment for Mohan Yadav in Madhya Pradesh, with all due respect to him. Yeah. It seems that with so many heavyweight candidates, most of them have cancelled out each other and have not accepted the other party to become the CM. So, in such a situation, a consensus candidate has emerged in the name of Mohan Yadav. He is a Yadav, belongs to the OBC community. We have spoken at length about this, that an OBC will need to be replaced by a OBC because the BJP today does not have any chief minister who comes from the OBC community. Now with the Yadav name, I think the larger outreach is to the Yadav community in UP and Bihar, clearly giving a message that not only Samajwadi Party and the Rashtriya Janata Dal can make a Yadav chief minister, but even BJP can install a Yadav chief minister, and Yadavs are dominant caste in the Hindi heartland in UP and Bihar.
Absolutely. I mean, looking at the Bundelkhand region and of course UP, there's certainly a larger national outreach that the BJP is looking at. Whether it was the Chhattisgarh decision or the decision here in MP, 2024 is definitely the key factor that the BJP is looking at in terms of its decision.
Yeah, so 2024 is the key factor. The BJP has now got confidence after the victory in these 3 states, and it's likely to go for the kill. And now the target is to beat the record of Rajiv Gandhi of 1984, wherein now it would want to expand its social base. And we know that the Yadavs largely have not been voting for the party in MP, UP, and Bihar. And there is this Yadav versus a non-Yadav OBC, which we have been discussing for long. So with this decision, the party is now eyeing the key block of Yadavs in the Hindi heartland. And Yadavs here as well are around 6% of the population. See, in MP, there is no dominant OBC caste. That was an advantage for the BJP.
Mr. Tiwari, hold your thoughts, because we're getting live visuals from Bhopal there. Very interesting visuals. You have Shivraj Singh Chauhan standing next to Mohan Yadav, who's going to be the next chief minister. Of course, as Anurag was also reporting, Mohan Yadav seen as somebody who's close to Shivraj Singh, so seems like a consensus candidate. Very interesting there. He's being garlanded by Shivraj Singh Chauhan. These optics, very, very interesting. Remains to be seen how the cabinet is composed, how all these heavyweights are actually accommodated. Isn't it, Amitabh Tiwari? And also, you made a very interesting point, and something that the Prime Minister has also said earlier, and the BJP repeatedly, that they are not just reaching out to the OBC community, but a specific kind of OBC. That identity politics there is very interesting, because if you speak of the OBCs, you also had Prahlad Patel, you also had Jyotiraditya Scindia, but the decision to make Mohan Yadav is also sort of ties into that aspect of the BJP eyeing for a specific kind of the OBC.
Yeah, because see, the Lodi community largely is with the BJP in MP and UP, because Kalyan Singh's son is also a minister in the UP government. So the Yadav community has not been largely voting for the BJP. We've seen 70-80% the votes going to the Samajwadi Party and the RJD. So it's a call out to the community that the BJP does not believe in this Yadav versus non-Yadav politics, and it stands for the OBCs. It's a champion of the OBCs and all castes, including the dominant caste of Yadavs, are being accommodated in the party in high positions, and it's going to give a tough time.
All right, Mr. Tiwari, Mr. Mohan Yadav is currently speaking. Let's try and listen into what he is saying there at the CLP meeting.
माननीय प्रदेश अध्यक्ष आदरणीय विष्णुदत्त जी शर्मा में आए आज की इस कार्रवाई का समापन।
आज नवनिर्वाचित विधायक दल की बैठक में हमारे नए नेता चुने गए आदरणीय मोहन यादव जी जोरदार तालियों से हम उनका अभिनंदन करें, और हमारे केंद्रीय पर्यवेक्षक आदरणीय मनोहर खट्टर जी, आदरणीय लक्ष्मण जी, बहन सुश्री आशा जी, उनका भी मैं बहुत हृदय से धन्यवाद करता हूँ। विधायक दल की बैठक सभी विधायकों का बहुत बहुत आभार और नए नेताओं के बधाई के साथ सबका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद, और बैठक विधिवत तौर पर समाप्त होती है। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
All right, so it's very interesting there. Mohan Yadav, said to be the next Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh. Maria Shakil is now joining us live on the broadcast. Maria, these visuals are extremely interesting. Shivraj Singh Chauhan garlanding Mohan Yadav. And as we were discussing earlier, when it comes to the new BJP, nothing can be predicted.
Yes, absolutely. Surprise and secrecy is what, these are the two hallmarks of the new BJP. And even as multiple faces were doing the rounds about front runners, nobody gave Mohan Yadav a chance. And here he is, the face of Madhya Pradesh BJP now. And it's an end end of a long era, end of Shivraj Singh Chauhan's era, one of the longest serving chief ministers of the Hindi heartland. Mr. Shivraj Singh Chauhan himself passing on the baton to his successor. Mr. Mohan Yadav has been in his cabinet, has served as education minister in the cabinet of Shivraj Singh Chauhan. He's 58 years old. But I think the BJP has done the OBC calculation here. The BJP has, even as the BJP ushers in a generational shift, that has ensured that there is that caste factor which is at play here as well. So I think that is very, very critical, and at the same time, Ujjain is what he represents. The temple town of Ujjain becomes crucial for BJP's, the Hindutva push and the sentiments that the BJP has managed to, garner so far. So I think it's also what we are being told by the sources, that he is the choice of Sangh. And when V.D. Sharma was appointed as the BJP president just months before the elections in Madhya Pradesh, the second name which was proposed by RSS was also the name of Mr. Yadav. So Mohan Yadav getting the crown of Madhya Pradesh. Remember, the state of Madhya Pradesh has been the laboratory of the BJP and the RSS. They would have wanted the state to continue to be with them, and this is what has happened. The BJP's victory in the state of Madhya Pradesh has meant that they could have experimented by coming up with a completely new face. He is, of course, not really new to politics. He has been around. As we said, that he's a 3-term MLA. But certainly because he has the endorsement of the central leadership, the BJP is sending a message that there are several within the party. There are several MLAs out of those 165 odd MLAs that the BJP can look at in terms of giving the responsibility for the crucial state of Madhya Pradesh. And Mohan Yadav, as we all of us ended up Googling on him, as we had anticipated, just as when the new list of the highest decision-making body of the BJP, that is the parliamentary board, had come, there were so many new faces that the party decided to give a place of prominence, and now it's Mohan Yadav who is the BJP's go-to man now, who will be governing the state of Madhya Pradesh.
And Mara, we'll come to the caste calculation as well, but just looking at how the BJP has been able to come to consensus, whether it's Chhattisgarh, where you saw, somebody close to Raman Singh chosen as the chief minister, or here Shivraj Singh Chauhan himself garlanding and passing on the baton to Mohan Yadav. But how will these heavyweights actually be accommodated in the cabinet? Because you have people like Narendra Singh Tomar, people like Shivraj Singh Chauhan, dyed in the wool BJP politicians, veterans. So that will also be a task for the BJP to be able to accommodate these heavyweights in the cabinet.
Yes, I think it's not as much about accommodating these heavyweights in the cabinet. That may not be an issue for the party at all, because it feels that, as far as Narendra Singh Tomar's name is concerned, we believe he could be the next speaker of the assembly. But what about other, will the party be going for some women face in a deputy chief minister? Because women of Madhya Pradesh, having voted for the BJP because of its schemes, Ladli Behna being the prominent welfare schemes of the scheme of the BJP, is seen as a factor which led to the BJP's rise as phoenix in these elections. But whether they will be going for a woman face or not, that remains to be seen. But what is becoming interesting here is the secrecy and the surprise factor. Nobody thought that in the state of Chhattisgarh, despite all those front-runner names that were put out by the media, there would be a new face completely. And the hints of which were dropped by Home Minister Amit Shah himself when he travelled, and he was in that constituency of Vishnu Desai when he was, campaigning. And now the indication coming that it's Mohan Yadav who has been chosen. He's a 3-term MLA, so he's not really completely someone who is doesn't have the experience of government.
Right.
He has served with Shivraj Singh Chauhan, so he understands what the party leadership wants. But I think the party's messaging here is that they're going for a completely different set of calculations when they have decided to not go for the obvious names, not go for front runners of television or newspapers. They have decided to have a completely different set of calculations when they have chosen these leaders to lead these very important states.
Also, Marav, one thing which is very interesting is that the BJP is, of course, looking at the national picture as well, because choosing an OBC leader and choosing a Yadav leader will, of course, boost the party's poll prospects when it comes to, say, the Bundelkhand region or the Rohilkhand region in Uttar Pradesh as well. So the BJP is really looking at its larger national ambitions ahead of 2024 as well. How could this, choosing a Yadav face, how significant is it? Because you also look at the Bundelkhand region, the Rohilkhand region. This will, of course, boost the party's poll prospects there in Uttar Pradesh as well.
Yes, absolutely, and also in the neighboring state of Bihar, because there as well there is that Yadav-dominated party in Rashtriya Janata Dal, whose face is Tejasvi Yadav. Of course, as you said rightly, in Samajwadi Party's face, that is Akhilesh Yadav, the BJP certainly is sending a message that they can have a Yadav surname leader as well, and of a very, very important state, one of the largest states of India, Madhya Pradesh. And here you have an OBC leader take the state of prominence. But I think what the BJP has done interestingly is, between Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh, they have done some kind of calculation. They understand that in the state of Chhattisgarh, they had to project a tribal face, and that's the reason why they have gone for Vishnu Desai. Here they had to look at OBCs. They understand fully well that the OBC calculation becomes important going ahead, although the Prime Minister has spoken about a completely different reimagination of caste constituencies or reimagination of the caste calculus. But here is Mohan Yadav, who is the choice of the RSS. He has worked very closely in the functioning of the RSS, and he is now the man who will be leading Madhya Pradesh.
That's right. Mara, stay with us. Amritanshi is also joining us live on the broadcast. Amritanshi, you were there at the CLP meeting outside the BJP office in Bhopal. What transpired in the CLP meeting? Because there were all these reports of how MLAs went in without actually knowing who could be the chief minister. But what transpired there at the CLP meeting? Was Mohan Yadav the consensus candidate from the word go? What happened in the meeting?
Again, BJP has left everyone in shock, and we were expecting that some or the other, that BJP will announce some name that we are not even expecting. Mohan Yadav is an MLA, and also he's an OBC leader. If you see right now the BJP head office, the people who were shouting and hooting for Shivraj Singh Chauhan and Prahlad Patel are now completely in shock, and still now they are not ready to believe that Mohan Yadav has been selected for as the Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh right now. Here are also some leaders, and also some we have Gopal Bhargav, the senior leader of BJP. We can see that he has left the meeting. He also visited Delhi, and everyone in the BJP, if we talk about, were totally saying that it could be anyone to whom the organization has selected. But it is a very shocking name, that Mohan Yadav. Also we can talk about, he has worked for ABVP. He has been closely working with RSS before he came to politics, and also he's also coming from the Malwa-Nimar region. This time Malwa-Nimar region has done wonders for BJP, no matter what. Before this, like in 2018, the elections were not good, the results were not good for BJP, especially in the Malwa-Nimar region. But Mohan Yadav, he's an OBC leader. Mohan Yadav worked with ABVP and RSS very closely. He's also very close to all the people in the organization, especially we talk about. And according to sources, Shivraj Singh Chauhan only suggested the name of Mohan Yadav in the meeting itself, and everyone agreed to the name, and then Mohan Yadav was elected the Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh.
That's also very interesting, Amritanshi, as you're saying, and it gives you a sense of how they arrived at consensus, because it was Shivraj Singh Chauhan himself who proposed Mohan Yadav's name. Very, very interesting. Manisha Priyam and Amitabh Tiwari are now joining us live on the broadcast. Manisha Priyam, going across to you first. Well, the BJP has swung a surprise yet again, but how do you look at the caste calculation? Because as I was discussing earlier, he's not just an OBC face, but a Yadav. And this is something that's going to help the BJP in the in the Rohilkhand and the Bundelkhand region as well, going forward ahead of 2024 as well. How do you see this decision?
So I do think that the BJP has made a clear and dramatic shift from the Shivraj era. The Shivraj era was one of shifting power to an OBC, a lower OBC category leader. But in the larger Hindi heartland, the BJP remained a non-Yadav OBC party. Now that track has been changed. The BJP from Madhya Pradesh signaling something very different for the Hindi heartland. Its embrace of OBC leadership as a whole, rather than excluding the Yadavs from its, from the tag of its frontline leadership. And I do think this will have consequences for the states, large and populous states of Uttar Pradesh, that brings in the largest number of members of parliament, and for the state of Bihar. Both states have entrenched Yadav leadership, and they are very, very anti-BJP, parties that have important positions in both states. So Madhya Pradesh clearly signaling both the end of the Shivraj era, but also signaling a transfer of power to other OBCs, and therefore signaling a sharing of power among social coalitions, but also a strong message going out to large parts of the Hindi heartland. The BJP now officially ends its non-Yadav OBC leadership and politics. No enmity really with the Yadavs. The OBC politics of the BJP, therefore, far more consolidated with these changes.
Absolutely, and as you said, it also marks a sort of a polar shift, a paradigm shift from that Brahmin Banya image to a party of the OBCs. Mara Shakil is also with us. Mara, you're giving us crucial information also about who's likely to be the next Deputy Chief Minister and the Speaker as well.
Yes, so we have details that have come in of the possible Deputy Chief Ministers. It is going to be Jagdish Devda. He is from Malgad constituency. In fact, he won with a margin of nearly 60,000 votes. The Deputy Chief Minister is again a surprise name, Rajendra Shukla from Rewa constituency. Just a quick word on what the image of the BJP has been. I think that image of a Brahmin Banya party is really an old image of the BJP, which has changed drastically over the last few years. The new BJP, which has been carefully crafted since 2014, is the one which has several caste factors included. This is a more inclusive BJP, a BJP which has factored in multiple aspects. That's the reason why its footprints are far and wide. But Amitabh Tiwari continues to be with us. Amitabh Tiwari, yesterday it was Vishnu Devsai, today it's Mohan Yadav. The BJP is telling one and all, don't second guess the calculation that we may be having when we are going in for the generational shift in the chief ministerial candidate selection.
Surprise all of us.
Yes.
And his name was nowhere in contention. And he has been a minister there, but this name was nowhere in contention. And the name of Jagdish Devda as Deputy CM, he belongs to the SC community. So in Chhattisgarh, you have a ST community CM. In Madhya Pradesh, you have a SC community Deputy CM. So you have OBCs, SC, ST, and the Brahmins who have been long banking the party for long now. They have been accommodated as Deputy CM in both the states. So it has sort of rewarded and acknowledged the support of OBC, SC, ST, and traditional supporters like Brahmins. And this is going to be a paradigm shift in the Hindi heartland politics of the Yadavs versus non-Yadavs, because the party is sending a message to the Yadavs as well, the dominant caste in UP and Bihar, that BJP can also install a community leader as the chief minister, which could woo a section of the youth among the Yadavs in both these Hindi heartland states.
Amitabh, and also this is a question to Manisha Priyam. Manisha Priyam, we have been talking about non-Yadav OBCs. Here is a Yadav who is now the chief minister, and perhaps the first one, if we were to look at the list of chief ministers that the BJP has had in recent times. Do you think that is a strong messaging that, it was no longer that, yes, they may have reached out to non-Yadav OBC as a constituency, but they understand that the larger OBC bloc is very much the Yadavs?
Yeah, quite clearly, Yadavs have been the dominant amongst the OBCs. The anti-Congress governments have been brought to power in the large and populous Hindi heartland states of Uttar Pradesh and Bihar by important non-Congress parties, socialist parties, led by Mulayam Singh Yadav and Sri Lalu Prasad Yadav in the states of Uttar Pradesh and Bihar respectively. But both Mulayam Singh Yadav and Lalu Yadav have been also very strongly anti-BJP, anti the Babri Masjid and the Rath. Just on the eve of the Ram Mandir being inaugurated, the BJP also embraces a Yadav leadership in the Hindi heartland in the state of Madhya Pradesh, and gives out the signal that it's not really a party that is promoting the leadership of non-Yadav OBCs. Nothing is enemy lines for the BJP. A more accommodative and embracive and inclusive BJP that will now take on the wrath of the Yadavs in the Hindi heartland. A lot of signaling here, a lot of messaging here. And the BJP is certainly putting in pole gear, putting in command an important Yadav leader as the chief minister of a prestigious state. Also the end of the Shivraj Singh era.
As both of us have been analyzing the women voter over the last few weeks very, very closely, my question is, neither in Chhattisgarh nor in Madhya Pradesh, the BJP has given even deputy chief minister's role to a woman.
Yeah, I mean, as of now, the woman card seems to be a missing card, but we still need to see what's happening in the state of Rajasthan. And as far as the central cabinet is concerned, remember, the Prime Minister has very important women faces there. There's Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman, there's Srimati Smriti Irani, also Bharti Pawarji, there's also Mrs. Meenakshi Lekhi. So, and there are others. I mean, I'm sure I'm missing out at least, one from Gujarat.
Yes.
So I do think there's also Annapurna Deviji, who's also a Yadav leader from Jharkhand. So I do think that there is a strong contingent of women leadership, and in the days to come, one will see how, after the Nari Shakti Vandan Adhiniyam, the Prime Minister and his team propose to promote this part of representational politics. That's still to be seen. Yes, I do concede that.
Yes, so that issue of representation of women, why no women in both these states is a question that will be asked. Amitabh Tiwari, women played a role in bringing the BJP government to power. Those 2% extra vote that women voters that we saw actually may very well be the reason. The Ladli Behnas of Shivraj Singh Chauhan may have been the reason. But what is interesting here is a very disciplined shift from one generation to another. From Shivraj Singh Chauhan to Mohan Yadav, without any dissent. Yes, Shivraj Singh Chauhan did send that message that, because give me another chance and I will ensure that the BJP wins all 29 seats. But the larger messaging here is also, in a very disciplined manner, the entire generational change has been effected.
Yeah, so coming to the women factor, the women have got a raw deal because you mentioned 2%. I would say BJP was leading by 8% against the Congress in Madhya Pradesh, and 5% of it is due to the women vote. That's number one. So number two, because BJP is a fairly disciplined party, and we've seen in ages, there have been no splits in the party. Uma Bharti split, she made a Ghar Vapsi. Yadurappa ji split, and he also has come back to the party. So no BJP tall leader has been able to go out of the party and establish himself. So that's a big signal or a message to any leader that you cannot succeed without the party organization and the votes. And one last thing on the Yadav becoming a chief minister is that there is no dominant, Yadavs are not a dominant caste in MP. In MP, there is no Yadav versus non-Yadav OBC. Yadavs are just 6%. Just like Lodhis and Kurmis, which are 6% each. So if you were to install a Yadav chief minister, perhaps this was the best state because there is no dominant and non-dominant caste here. If you install a Yadav in a UP or a Bihar, then that non-Yadav OBC might not like them.
Yeah, so that mobilization that you're talking about, it becomes interesting because in the state of Bihar also there is the chief minister who is from the Kurmi caste, and the Kurmis are just 6% in the state of Bihar. So here is a Yadav chief minister, Anurag, who and the Yadavs are just 6% in the state. My question is, have you seen him as an active education minister? Because increasingly for Delhi maybe that, the face of the government in the state of Madhya Pradesh may have been Shivraj Singh Chauhan. But what about Mohan Yadav? Was he an active education minister who tried to carve a space for himself in state politics and government?
See, we have two portfolios in the education department. One is for higher education, which Mohan Yadav served as the minister, cabinet minister, and second is school education minister, which was headed by Inder Singh Parmar as a minister of state. And both these portfolios are clearly, if you see the pattern from the past 20 years, clearly an RSS man always heads these portfolios. So yes, Mohan Yadav is very close to the RSS and the Sangh Parivar, but he is not someone who is like really involved in the affairs of the higher education or the ministry, because we have seen what is the scenario with the universities and colleges here in Madhya Pradesh. So many students are facing the delay in exams or paper leaks, so it's very rampant in Madhya Pradesh. So I have never seen Mohan Yadav as clearly as an active cabinet minister heading the portfolio of higher education here in Madhya Pradesh. And there are also a few allegations of the land scam which is connected with the Singhas there in Ujjain also. So quite a controversial figure. So for me it's very surprising that how he was chosen as the chief minister of Madhya Pradesh, and needless to say that he was not in our radar, because we have picked 7 or 8 probables for the CM post here in Madhya Pradesh. So his name is quite surprising for me also.
Interestingly, what you said, in both the states, none of the leaders were on our radar, and that's what the BJP has started, taking shape as, that if the leaders are discussed in the public domain, they will never become the chief minister, because the central leadership's calculation is completely different. Vasudha, coming to the question of what you had suggested perhaps yesterday, that there could be a woman deputy chief minister in Chhattisgarh, that was not to be, and even here in Madhya Pradesh, there is no women representation per se.
Well, Maria, what I understand is there are 4 main reasons for Manoj Yadav's appointment. First is clearly the non-neutral OBC factor. We all know that BJP has been very clear about quoting non-feudal, non-asset owning castes in OBC castes in different states, and that's a strategy that has worked well for them. Yadavs are not dominant in Madhya Pradesh, and they are not in confrontation with any other OBC caste. So clearly, it's a great move in a state like Madhya Pradesh. Second, of course, this man comes from ABVP, the powerful RSS organization where people from Amit Shah to Dharmendra Pradhan have come, and they've all gone on to build, very sustainable careers. So he is from ABVP, and like Anurag also said, very close to the RSS. And we also saw in the case of Vishnu Dev Sai, he's also somebody who comes from Vanvasi Kalyan Ashram. So I think both Chhattisgarh and Madhya Pradesh are ideologically and politically very important to the BJP. So the stamp of the RSS is very important here. And this man is seen as probably, also someone who understands governance. Here he has already been a minister, so somebody who understands governance. Madhya Pradesh is a big state. And I think fourth, the most important thing is a larger messaging to the Yadav vote bank. A vote bank, 2 parties, RJD and Samajwadi Party, part of the India Alliance, are part of the opposition. This is a core vote bank that of these regional parties, a vote bank that the BJP has not been very successful in getting the support of. So this is a symbolic start for them, and to also tell these voters of this community that we are not averse to even giving you leadership positions. So I think these are the 4 reasons. But as far as women are concerned, of course, there is, I think, a long way to go. But clearly, this is something that the Prime Minister has been talking about. But today's appointment marks the end of Shivraj Singh Chauhan as the CM also. So clearly, an end of a politically important era for the state of Madhya Pradesh.
Yes, and a role being given to Narendra Singh Tomar, former agriculture minister. He'll now be the speaker of the Vidhan Sabha. Come in on this, Anurag. Let's talk about Narendra Singh Tomar now. It did come as a surprise also, because what had happened during the course of the entire election, particularly the charges that were there against his son. He's being given a position of a speaker. What is the party trying to say?
What we have seen there in Chhattisgarh also, Raman Singh will be the speaker of Chhattisgarh Assembly, and now here, Narendra Singh Tomar. But given his parliamentary experience in the Madhya Pradesh Assembly, I think he'll be a right fit for the post of speaker, because you have to be level-headed and you have to, get respect from both the parties, from the ruling party as well as the opposition. So I don't see a problem with that. But clearly, we have 2 deputy chief ministers also. One, a strong Brahmin leader from Vindhya region, Rajendra Shukla, and that way I'm still at least one prediction came true. And the second is Jagdish Devda, former finance minister in the Shivraj Singh Chauhan government. He comes from the Malwa region, Mandsaur, and he will be the deputy to Mohan Yadav also.
So, Mr. Devda is from the SC community, correct me?
Yeah. Yes, you're right, Maria.
Okay, so Mr. Devda is from the SC community, and you have an upper caste in the other Deputy Chief Minister in Rajendra Shukla, and then the Chief Minister Mohan Yadav is from the OBC, but we have largely heard about the non-Yadav OBC calculation of the BJP. Here is the BJP sending a message that even if the Yadavs are a minority within the OBCs in the state of Madhya Pradesh, just 6%, they are ready to give them a place of prominence, a place of leadership, and that is the reason why Mohan Yadav has been given that important position. But yes, just a quick recap for our viewers. Anurag, come in again on this. V.D. Sharma, when he became the president of the state BJP, Madhya Pradesh BJP, the second name which was doing the rounds at that time was also Mohan Yadav. So he was the choice of the Sangh, but V.D. Sharma won that race. And interestingly, again, if I were to make a comparison between him and in the state of Chhattisgarh, when Mr. Sai was, just replaced by a new face as the state president, and then he made a comeback as the chief minister. Anurag.
Yes, in Chhattisgarh, Vishnudev Sai was replaced by Arun Sao, a strong OBC leader. Again, he was also, among the CM probables there in Chhattisgarh. And here also, as you clearly pointed out, he was also in the race of the state BJP chief. But at that time, V.D. Sharma was appointed replacing Rakesh Singh, and he also delivered the result, and he was also in the race for the CM. But now it will be interesting to see how the BJP will accommodate all these leaders.
How the BJP now accommodates even those MPs who have quit and are now MLAs, union ministers who have quit the central government and have been accommodated as MLAs. So Prahlad Patel and all of them will have to wait a little longer, perhaps whether they would be ministers at all, or perhaps they will just continue to serve as an MLA. But those are the visuals coming in. The man of the moment on your television screen, now Mohan Yadav, he will be leading the state of Madhya Pradesh. Let's listen in to what he had to say. A lot of celebrations that are coming in, audio of celebrations. Mohan Yadav and two deputy chief ministers will now be heading to the Raj Bhavan to stake claim to form the government. Perhaps a date for the swearing-in ceremony will also be decided. So it will be a date which will be interesting, because the party leadership would certainly want to be present in the oath-taking ceremonies of both Vishnudev Sai in the state of Chhattisgarh and Mohan Yadav in the state of Madhya Pradesh. But yes, Mohan Yadav, he is the man of the moment there. Nobody gave him a chance perhaps, and he is the BJP's big RSS man who has worked closely with Shivraj Singh Chauhan. So he understands the governance model, understands various messaging that the party leadership would have wanted. But yes, as we have seen in election after election, in state after state, the BJP going for a completely new face, a face which was not being discussed, a leader who has been completely low-key. Here it is Mohan Yadav, a 58-year-old, a three-time MLA from Ujjain, who has been chosen. So these are the visuals coming in from BJP headquarters in Bhopal. Anurag, who are the leaders along with him? So, have the central observers left, or will they be completing the entire process of going to the Raj Bhavan to stake claim, and the entire letters that will be given of, the signatures of various MLAs?
They will reach the Raj Bhavan soon. So far, this is what we have heard, and after that, the central observers will, go back to Delhi. But all the other formalities, like our sources are telling us that the Jamburi Maidan, which is the biggest ground here in Bhopal, all the municipal corporation officials are there for, just to oversee the preparations and all. And so far, 13th is the date. This is what we are hearing from our sources for the oath ceremony here in Bhopal.
So oath ceremony you're suggesting, Anurag, is likely to happen when? Just a quick recap for our viewers.
Yes, Maria, as per our sources, it will be on 13th of this month.
13th is when the oath-taking ceremony will happen, which is day after tomorrow. So, Mohan Yadav, an OBC leader, in fact, Yadav, he comes from Yadav community, which is not a dominant OBC caste in the state of Madhya Pradesh, but the BJP has done, the caste balancing act also. So it has tried to ensure that it has all the right meaning. Here is V.D. Sharma standing next to Mohan Yadav, and then the press conference is about to begin. We'll try and cut to it. But Amitabh ji, we are looking at those visuals. A day where it is an end of Shivraj Singh Chauhan's era and a beginning of Mohan Yadav's era.
भारतीय जनता पार्टी मध्य प्रदेश के नवनिर्वाचित विधायक दल की बैठक हमारे केंद्रीय पर्यवेक्षक आदरणीय मनोहर लाल खट्टर जी के नेतृत्व में आदरणीय के लक्ष्मण जी और आदरणीय सुश्री आशा लकड़ा जी राष्ट्रीय सचिव तीनों केंद्रीय पर्यवेक्षक के नेतृत्व में बैठक संपन्न हुई है। उस बैठक में भारतीय जनता पार्टी के हमारे वरिष्ठ नेता मुख्यमंत्री आदरणीय शिवराज सिंह चौहान ने मोहन यादव जी का नाम प्रस्तावित किया मध्य प्रदेश के नए नेता के लिए, विधायक दल के नेता के लिए। और हमारे केंद्रीय मंत्री रहे वरिष्ठ नेता आदरणीय नरेंद्र सिंह तोमर जी, आदरणीय कैलाश विजयवर्गीय जी, आदरणीय प्रहलाद पटेल जी, आदरणीय मध्य प्रदेश के हमारे सभी वरिष्ठ नेतृत्व ने उनके प्रस्ताव का आज अभी समर्थन किया है। और मैं मोहन यादव जी मध्य प्रदेश के विधायक दल के नए नेता के तौर पर आज वो निर्वाचित हुए हैं। मैं भारतीय जनता पार्टी मध्य प्रदेश की ओर से, मध्य प्रदेश के करोड़ों करोड़ कार्यकर्ताओं की ओर से उन्हें बहुत बधाई और शुभकामनाएं देता हूं। इस अवसर पर भारत के प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी का, दुनिया के सर्वाधिक लोकप्रिय नेता, देश के गृह मंत्री, भारतीय राजनीति के आधुनिक चाणक्य, जिन्होंने मध्य प्रदेश के चुनाव में प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में मध्य प्रदेश के मन में मोदी और मोदी जी के मन में मध्य प्रदेश के अभियान को जनता ने जो आशीर्वाद दिया, कुशल रणनीति अमित शाह जी के साथ भारतीय जनता पार्टी के सम्मानीय राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष जेपी नड्डा जी का जो आशीर्वाद मिला, मैं हमारे नेतृत्व को, माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी, माननीय अमित शाह जी, माननीय नड्डा जी को और भारतीय जनता पार्टी के हमारे नेता जो मुख्यमंत्री शिवराज सिंह चौहान को भी, ये पूरे नेतृत्व को बधाई देता हूं, हृदय से अभिनंदन करता हूं कि एक ऐसे कार्यकर्ता को जो विचार के लिए प्रतिबद्ध होकर, जिन्होंने अपना संपूर्ण जीवन छात्र राजनीति से लेकर विचार के लिए काम करने का लगातार जो प्रयास किया है, अथक मेहनत और परिश्रम के साथ जमीन से निकले हुए सामान्य परिवार के व्यक्तित्व को आज मध्य प्रदेश भारतीय जनता पार्टी के विधायक दल का नेता चुना गया है। मैं पुनः एक बार मोहन यादव जी का अभिनंदन करता हूं, बहुत बहुत बधाई देता हूं। और हमें विश्वास है कि माननीय प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में यह मध्य प्रदेश, जो हमने कहा कि अपने स्वर्णिम मध्य प्रदेश बनाने के लिए, मध्य प्रदेश को आत्मनिर्भर मध्य प्रदेश बनाने का जो संकल्प है, आज हमारे मोहन यादव जी नेता चुने गए। उनके नेतृत्व में मध्य प्रदेश के मुख्यमंत्री के तौर पर माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के नेतृत्व में हम लगातार मध्य प्रदेश को स्वर्णिम मध्य प्रदेश बनाने का संकल्प आज लिया है। भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने उस दिशा में उस संकल्प को पूरा करने के लिए मोहन यादव जी से लेकर के पूरी भारतीय जनता पार्टी प्रतिबद्ध है। मैं पुनः एक बार मोहन यादव जी को बधाई देता हूं और माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी का, माननीय अमित शाह जी का, माननीय नड्डा जी का, माननीय शिवराज जी का, नरेंद्र सिंह जी का, कैलाश जी का, प्रहलाद जी का, सभी लोगों का बहुत बहुत हृदय से धन्यवाद करता हूं और मोहन जी को पुनः एक बार बधाई।
अरे रुक जाइए ना, चलिए बोलिए।
प्रदेश अध्यक्ष माननीय वी.डी. शर्मा जी, हमारे यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री माननीय
We'll try and reconnect that line there. Mohan Yadav there after he's chosen as a CLP leader.
प्रारंभ हुए थे उन कामों के बलबूते पर मध्य प्रदेश ने पूरे देश में एक अलग पहचान बनाई है। मैं माननीय यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री माननीय नरेंद्र मोदी जी का, माननीय गृह मंत्री अमित शाह जी का, यशस्वी राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष माननीय जेपी नड्डा जी का, मैं हमारे प्रदेश के यशस्वी मुख्यमंत्री माननीय शिवराज सिंह जी का, यशस्वी अध्यक्ष माननीय वी शर्मा जी का, हमारे अपने वरिष्ठ नेता माननीय नरेंद्र सिंह जी तोमर साहब का, माननीय कैलाश जी विजयवर्गीय राष्ट्रीय महामंत्री भाजपा, माननीय प्रहलाद पटेल जी वरिष्ठ नेता, माननीय राकेश सिंह जी और सभी और आज विधायक दल के नेता के नाते से हमने सबने मिलकर संकल्प किया। मेरे जैसे छोटे कार्यकर्ता को एक बड़ी जवाबदारी दी। मैं जवाबदारी की इस बड़े काम को बता सकता हूं कि केवल ये भाजपा ही है जो सामान्य से छोटे से कार्यकर्ताओं को भी इतनी बड़ी जवाबदारी देती है। यही हमारा अपना भाजपा का चरित्र है। भाजपा के इस नए दायित्व के मैं लिए हृदय से आभार भी मानता हूं और आप सबके विश्वास के साथ निश्चित रूप से जो विकास का कारवा बढ़ाया माननीय मुख्यमंत्री शिवराज सिंह जी चौहान ने और यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री के नेतृत्व में, निश्चित रूप से हम इसको आगे बढ़ाएंगे। एक बार फिर मैं हमारे लिए जो स्लोगन था एमपी के मन में मोदी और मोदी के मन में एमपी, इस स्लोगन के आधार पर निश्चित रूप से उनके विकास के सपने को लेकर आगे चलेंगे। मैं एक बार फिर हृदय से माननीय यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री माननीय गृह मंत्री अमित जी, माननीय नड्डा जी, माननीय वीडी जी का आभार मानता हूं, माननीय शिवराज सिंह जी का आभार मानता हूं जिन्होंने मुझे बहुत बड़ी जवाबदारी दी। हृदय से आप सबका आभार, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। और जनता, करोड़ों करोड़ जनता जिनने इस निर्वाचन में भारतीय जनता पार्टी को प्रचंड बहुमत से विजयी दिलाई थी, निश्चित रूप से मैं सभी विधायक साथियों का, सभी कार्यकर्ताओं का जिनके अथक परिश्रम से ये अद्वितीय दिन आवाज आया था, ये 5वीं बार भाजपा की सरकार बन रही है। निश्चित रूप से हम सब मिलकर के और प्रदेश की जनता की अपेक्षा के आधार पर इसको आगे ले जाएंगे। एक बार आप सबका आभार।
अभी गवर्नर हाउस जा रहे हैं माननीय विधायक दल की बैठक की कार्रवाई का मैं पत्र सौंपने के लिए हम गवर्नर हाउस जा रहे हैं।
All right, so Mohan Yadav there said to be the Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh. They will now be heading to the Raj Bhavan to stake claim to form the government. Of course, a lot to unpack. The BJP has really swung a surprise with its intelligent caste calculation and also somebody who had the blessings of the Sangh as well. We'll decode all of that for you. This remains our top focus. A short break now. News continues on the other side.